No homo, but I wasn't gon' lose, cause I wasn't gon' suck dick for no views. You see me if you see me, if not then fuck it. I had to get a hold of myself, no bucket, no trusting, no loving, I'm straight hustling. Had to explode on tracks, no Muslim.
Alright, so these are the Baltimore Ravens season stats. We are in the wild card right now, and Tyrod Taylor has, obviously, but he didn't really do anything, you know. I only put him in for a little bit. So Joe Flacco only has 1,600 passing yards, which is not bad at all compared to how many rushing yards we got this season. He has 17 passing touchdowns. He was only twaxed. What the fuck is that? He was only sacked 12 times. 100 completions. Only 100 completions for 1,600 yards. Bruh. That's beast right there. Alright. Now, again, 1,600 passing yards. Well, nearly 1,700 passing yards is great compared to how many rushing yards we got this year. We got nearly 2,000 rushing yards with Justin Forsett, and all he needed was 1,500. 1,500 rushing yards. We got his season goal. We got Talafero's season goal with 773. His season goal was 750. And we got Bernard Pierce's season goal with 750, and he got 758 rushing yards. And Justin Forsett got a season goal with nearly 200 carries. Talafero got his season goal with nearly 150 carries, and Bernard Pierce got his season goal with only 100 carries. So that's real beast. Joe Flacco having 3 carries for 13 yards. Justin Forsett was averaging 10 yards a carry. Talafero with 5. Bernard Pierce with 7. Forsett has 22 touchdowns, man. 22 touchdowns. Talafero has 13. Bernard Pierce has 10. Look at that. Now, these yards per game, Justin Forsett would have a lot more yards per average per game. But when we hit his season goal, he wasn't the starter anymore. He became the third string running back. So that's what he took a big hit with his rushes per average per game. He took a big hit with that. He fumbled 4 times, and both of them fumbled twice. Flacco fumbling twice. Broken tackle. He has the most broken tackles though, which I would have thought Talafero had the most broke tackles, but Forsett beat him out with that. And his longest run was 79 yards. Now receiving, Marlon Brown actually has the most catches with Steve Smith. Marlon Brown's a 6'5" wide receiver. 6'5" wide receiver that I want to really just mold, start face catching with him and everything. Obviously, face catching with him a little bit during the regular season, man. He has 500 yards receiving, and all these stats are very good. Very good if you look and you compare to how much we ran the ball this year. You know, we have clearly over 3,000 yards carrying the ball this year. Way over 3,000 yards carrying the rock this year, running the ball. So for wide receivers to have 25 catches and 500 yards, you know, like that's honestly in the real scheme of things, that's nothing. But if you compare to how much we ran the ball this year, these stats are great. These stats are great. You know, look at the averages per reception. Torrey Smith was averaging 22 yards a catch. Marlon Brown 20, 18, 13, 13. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. Marlon Brown has 5 touchdowns, 4, 3, 3, and 3. Now, what's that yak? Jacoby Jones beat out Marlon Brown in that yak. The longest pass was to Marlon Brown. All right, blocking. Marshall Yonda went off this year, man. Running the counter religiously. 36 pancakes to Marshall Yonda. I wanna see if the NFL, man, who's beating Marshall Yonda? Not even close. Not even close. 36-24. Bruh. Not even close. Now let's see rushing yards. Now we're third in the NFL for rushing. We're third in the NFL. But look how many more carries these guys got per game. Well, how many more carries they got, period. Over 100 carries. The second guy and the third guy, both of them way over 100 carries than Justin Forsett. You know, so imagine how many yards Justin Forsett would have had if we didn't take him out the game in like week 7. We took Justin Forsett out the starting spot like week 7, week 8. You know, so imagine him getting all these carries, as many carries as the first and the second guy got. How many yards Justin Forsett would have got? He would have got over 3,000 rushing yards this season if we didn't take him out the game. Remember, we averaged way more than them. They got so many more carries, but our touchdowns are not that far off. You know, like I said, the average per game would have been a lot more if we didn't take him out and he was like a third string running back after like week 7, week 8. The most fumbles in a running back, well, he scrambled not a lot, nearly 250. So I would say right here, Bernard Pierce. He didn't really rush a lot. Depends on his passing. But, yeah. Who broke the most tackles? Arian Foster with 55. Wow. Okay. Who got the passing yards for the regular season? Who's the best in passing for the regular season? That was actually throwing the ball. Both Ravens quarterbacks have the best passing rating in the NFL for the regular season. But Joe Flacco not elite though, right? Excuse me. Alright, so who got the most passing yards this year? Geno Smith. Jimmy putting in that work though. Jimmy putting in that work with Geno. That's what's up, man. At least somebody can. I know me on the Xbox One, I'm not. Who got the most passing? Ryan Tannehill. Wow. And then it was Slim. Slim's not in the league anymore, though. He had that boot camp to go into. Who threw the most interceptions? Who's the bum of the league in the QB position? Jay Cutler. But Jay Cutler got an elite card, though. Tony Romo with a 99 longest pass. How many? All right, who was the sitting duck of this league for the regular season? Who was sacked the most? Damn! Eli with 55 times sacked. Oh, look at his face. He's just like, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Wow, he took a beating this year with Sam Bradford right next to him. And then it was Geno. Wow, so the guy with the most passing, the most yards passing this year, actually is third for most times sacked. Now, how many completions? Peyton Manning, wow. Clearly dominant with 402 for the regular season. And next up was actually the Raiders, wow, with 339. Wow, but Peyton Manning was clearly dominant in that. But he had over nearly 600 attempts. Yeah, he beats that. Nearly 600 attempts. All right, who had the best percentage in completions that actually threw the ball? Okay, the Steelers is number 1. How many yards did you 3,000. Okay, yeah. Wow. So the Steelers are actually number 1, and right under the Steelers is Peyton Manning, Tony Romo. Joe Flacco is 71. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 guys tied for second place in completions, in completion percentage. Number 1 being the rapey Ben Roethlisberger. All right. Most yards. No, we don't care about that. All right, defense. Here we go. Yo, Slim got like crazy sacks with Navarro Bowman. I've seen this before. Who got the most tackles? The Jaguars. Paul Posnuski. Who got the most tackles for loss this year? Gerald McCoy. Then Navarro Bowman. Then J.J. Watt. Time sacked. Now watch this. Watch this. Oh my God. Gerald McCoy caught up to him too. Wow. Gerald McCoy had like 15 sacks or something like that. And then Navarro Bowman had 23 sacks. But then Slim left, like, I think week 14 or something like that. Slim left. I'd say like week 13, week 14, Slim left, and he had 23 sacks. So I guess he didn't get any sacks after Slim left the league because he had to go to boot camp. But Slim had 23 sacks with Navarro Bowman in like week 13, 14. Like, he was dominating with Navarro Bowman in the sack column. Who got the most interceptions? Jason McCourty, Eric Reed, and Champ Bailey. Okay. No one cares about that. Forced fumbles. Okay. I'm not seeing any Ravens, so this is bullshit. Anybody got some safeties this year? Look, Navarro Bowman with a safety. Defensive touchdowns. Who's beaten? Luke Healy with 3. Wow. Then Eric Reed with 2. Wow. So there you have it, guys. Those are your season stat leaders. Who was the Ravens' top tackler? C.J. Mosley. C.J. Mosley. Who was the top tackles for loss? Timmy Jergen, though. Another young guy. Rookie. How many sacks? Jergen. I know it. Yeah, there you go. How many interceptions? 6 with Gibson. Alright, fumbles. 3 with Upshaw. Upshaw was laying the wood this year. Upshaw and McPhee really stepped up this year. They really did. This year in the preseason, I got rid of Terrell Suggs and I got rid of Elvis Dumerville. And everybody was flipping shit about me doing that when I got rid of them because they didn't think, they're like, oh, why would you do that? Those are your top 2 pass rushers, this and that and third. And, they didn't think that Courtney Upshaw and McPhee would be able to fill the spots. But I knew deep and down my heart, deep inside, that they would step up to the plate. And they ended up doing really good this year. Courtney Upshaw with 40 tackles this year, 7 tackles for loss, 1 sack, no interceptions though. He got stone hands. He really does have stone hands, but he's 6'2". That's a tall linebacker right there. 5 pass deflections, and I'd say like 2 of those pass deflections was actual swats, and the rest were just drop passes. He forced 3 fumbles this year, and where's McPhee? McPhee actually getting 33 tackles, 12 for loss, 6 sacks, 2 pass deflections those were most likely dropped interceptions. No fumbles forced though. He did recover a fumble and got no defensive touchdowns. They really stepped up this year. They did good. Someone that didn't step up this year that I thought would do better was Robert Quinn. I thought Robert Quinn would be dominant, to be honest. He did his thing, but not as much as you think. He got 16 tackles, six of them for a loss, 5 sacks. He did get some good sacks, but I just thought, especially with him being young and he's already like a 90-something overall, I thought he would be way more dominant. But he did get like 2 defensive touchdowns off fucking scoop and scores. Scoop and score touchdowns. He did scoop the ball up and run it into the end zone twice. And C.J. Mosley, you guys already know, he was my guy for this year. For this year, I just focused on nothing but C.J. Mosley and game prepping and everything like that, and he's really come into his own and being a dominant force. Now, who has defensive touchdowns for this season? Will Hill with 2 defensive touchdowns, Robert Quinn with 2, and Daryl Smith with 1. The Ravens did real good this year, man. It's just we were just focused on a lot of players stepped up. Like Will Hill stepped up, Courtney Upshaw stepped up, McPhee stepped up. We signed Gibson this year, Tashawn Gibson. He stepped up. Jergen definitely stepped up this year. And that's it. We really didn't. Everybody else was just basic starters, like what's his name? Daryl Smith is a basic starter. He's already starting on the team. Jimmy Smith's already starting on the team. Nada's already starting on the team. And that's it, man. Everybody else just played their roles and did what they had to do. Justin Tucker, he 14 out of 14, you know, missed a clutch, but we didn't really kick too many field goals this year. He got 14 field goals out of all 16 games, 17 weeks, you know, so 100%. That's all you can ask for from a kicker is be 100%. So there you go, guys. Those are the season stats.